Hello, I'm Liam Gallagher with IntelligentPlantsApothecary.com, your health coach and a source for trusted natural health advice. So I've been talking about how to brainwash yourself. Today I'm going to cover the topic of how to structure your phrases, and I'll give you a couple of examples of some phrases that I've used and kind of developed so that until I was satisfied with what I was telling myself. I want to emphasize the fact that you are reprogramming your brain, so it's very important to make sure that what you're telling yourself is something that you actually want to have written in your script. So I mentioned the last couple of days that the brain doesn't hear certain words, and I learned early on that instead of saying I don't have social anxiety or I'm not socially anxious, I would start to say I'm free of social anxiety. After a while, I realized it was more important to not give that topic any more energy than it already had. In other words, naming it, in my mind, kind of reinforced the fact that I had it. To kind of give an example of that is, you know, if I'm saying, like in this last example, I ended up saying I'm confident instead of I don't have or I'm free of social anxiety, because every time I said social anxiety in the context of not having it or being free of it, it was kind of in a way like telling my brain that I had dealt with it or that I did have it and that it was an issue. But when I started to say I am confident, it was my way of addressing the issue. I obviously was already aware of what it was. I didn't need to name it again. What I needed to do is tell my brain what I wanted it to do from here on out. So to give you another example of how that works, I'll use the type 1 diabetes as the next example. So when I first started doing mantras that I was creating, I would say my body's healing itself, and my body heals itself of all disease. And I said dis-ease, not disease, because it is a discomfort. It is an out of alignment that we're dealing with. So after a while of doing that, though, I realized that it wasn't quite specific enough. I was making progress with my overall health and my ability to fight off infection and those sorts of things, but it really wasn't having any effect on my ability to deal with the diabetes any better. When I say deal with, I mean either implement new strategies to improve it or even sustain the ones I had already implemented. So I began to say that my body was healing itself of diabetes. And then again, I realized that I was naming the illness and therefore giving it more power. I still wasn't quite sure how to phrase it though. So the next thing that I said was, I'm free of diabetes. and although that's not quite saying I don't have diabetes, it's pretty damn close. So I continued to work with it until finally I came up with this brilliant idea. My pancreas produces insulin. The whole problem with being a diabetic is my pancreas is acting sluggish. It's not working properly the way I'd want it to, so it's not producing the hormone insulin. So the obvious thing to say is my pancreas produces insulin. So that's what I use. That's actually what I currently use. I'm still addressing that issue, but that's pretty long term. But that's kind of give you an idea of how to adjust these phrases. Tomorrow I'm going to make another video about how about what I'm doing with this topic specifically nowadays. I do have a new formula that I've kind of come up with, and I've been in the process of trying it out so that I can give you a good example or a good idea of what you can expect if you were to choose to apply this stuff to your life. So I would love it if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it too if you try any of this stuff, if you could leave your experience in the comments section below. I'd love to have a conversation about it. I'd also love to see what this stuff has done for you. So thanks for joining me again. I'll see you tomorrow. Here's wishing you happiness and health. Have a great day.